have two daughters who are in their 20s, and I want them and I want all of their friends to be able to make their own choices and their own decisions.
And in the words of Tupac, in reference to babies, and since men can't have them, they have no right to tell women when and where to create them. But in this case, instead of men, it's the government, and instead of making the babies, it's having them.
So I think that reproductive rights and health is something that really does touch all of our lives at some point.
I support women's reproductive rights because women are not incubators.
Since the 1960s, reproductive rights have come a long way. 2007, the Healthy Youth Act is passed, requiring public schools teaching sex education to include contraception as well as abstinence in their programs. 1998, Initiative 694, a ban on safe abortions after the first trimester of pregnancy, is defeated by voters. 1991, Initiative 120, the Reproductive Privacy Act, is approved by voters, codifying the protections guaranteed under Roe v. Wade into Washington state law. 1973, the Supreme Court hands down its decision in Roe v. Wade, legalizing abortion in all 50 states. 1970, Referendum 20 is approved, making Washington the first state to legalize abortion by vote of the people. Those who lived through the 1960s knew reproductive rights in a completely different sense than we do now. Elizabeth, a Seattle native and NARAL volunteer, was willing to share what she experienced and observed before Roe v. Wade. After the 7th month of pregnancy, a woman had to quit her job. A single woman couldn't buy a home without proving she wouldn't get pregnant. There were no home pregnancy tests. Birth control pills weren't available in all states until the late 60s. You had 3 choices: illegal abortion, having the child, or if you had a large sum of money, go abroad and have a legal abortion. There are several people today who are attempting to reverse the progress made by the reproductive rights movement over the last 40 years. NARAL Pro-Choice Washington is constantly working against those people to protect women's constitutional right to privacy and choice. The 12,000 members believe that every woman should be able to make personal decisions about the full range of reproductive health options, including preventing unintended pregnancy, bearing healthy children, and choosing legal abortion. There are 4 main events that NARAL puts on every year. Volunteers are always needed for these events, but you can also help in NARAL's office by making go out to vote or pharmacy calls, becoming a canvasser, or writing a letter to your legislator from home.
Get students involved on campus in pro-choice reproductive rights efforts. So that means coming to documentary screenings, that means having tables out here in Red Square so that people can support accurate medical information for women when NARAL's trying to pass that legislation, or coming to more events.
And one of the things you do as a volunteer, which is a whole lot of fun, is you go to community events. And you try to get signatures for whatever the issue is that NARAL is working on at the time. And I went around to many community events last summer. It was a whole lot of fun.
As I said, we're a staff that is really, really small, and the work that we do is highly dependent on the individuals out in our community who help us to lobby, to help us with letter writing, to help us with door knocking, all of those kinds of things. So in general, some of the best things that people can do are actually to sign up for our email alerts, and then when we send something out, especially related to contact your legislator or let someone know or tell a friend about this awful policy or this great policy that's going into effect, and then just taking that few minutes out to write that email or make that phone call.
For people to get involved is the only way to really make change. I think it's going to come because we force it, and that spark has to happen.